One thing about me is that I'm a bring back the patriarchy kind of girl. I think we need strong men leading, protecting, and providing. When did women become convinced that we don't need men? Because this is not true. We need men. Without men, society would fall and we wouldn't be able to survive. But feminists don't believe that we need men. They actually believe that they're better than men because they want to lead and be in charge. So it's really...
There's an important distinction here. Wanting traditional roles in a relationship is not automatically the same as wanting control. A healthy relationship depends on both people understanding what they bring to the table. The real issue is whether modern dating has created expectations that neither side is willing to meet.
Dating in the United States of America has gotten so expensive that nearly half of those who are single right now just have stopped dating. It's no longer worth it for them. Because right now, on average, singles are spending $189 for a night out. That's according to a new Bank of Montreal analysis. That's up 12.5% from $168 last year. And guess who's paying the most? Millennials. Millennials on average are spending $252 for a date night. That's a 32% jump from 2025. Gen Z, well, you're spending $205 on average for a date night, up from $194. 14% of those surveyed spend on average $300 or more for a date night. And when you go out, it's not like you're getting a ton for $200 anymore. There are plenty of taxes, you have to make sure to tip. Restaurants are charging an exorbitant amount of money for anything nowadays. According to a recent study done by Mando Media, in New York City, for example, for $122, you get a starter, 2 entrees, and 2 cocktails. That's it. That's before tax and tip. Are you a single? Have you stopped dating? Is it too expensive? Let me know. Spread the word. Follow for more.
It's 80% not about the money. The dating pool sucks. We are happy being single. It is better for our finances and our peace. With dating in 2026, you have to pay with your money, time, and your mental health.
So I've been seeing a lot of discourse about how part of the reason that club culture is cooked is because ladies are no longer free. And let me just start by saying, I think the concept of a woman paying $20, $30, sometimes $40+ to be in the presence of straight men is egregious. So I thoroughly agree. But as someone who's 27, so still clubbing age, has been going out for a little over a decade at this point, you know, when I was 16, 17, whatever. I'm from New York, I was outside, soon me. But timeline-wise, that means that I was at the tail end of like that hair done, nails done, everything did era. The girls showing up to the club like their 5-inch heels and their bandage dresses all the way decked out. Yes, for the most part, admission for women was almost always free. But something that I think a lot of people need to understand, especially as you get older, is that there is no such thing as free lunch, meaning no one is doing anything for you for the sake of being nice. There's always a price to pay. And the concept of women being free to get to the club were clubs following this very specific business model where you pack out the venue with as many beautiful women as possible, and that will attract men who are willing to spend lots of money to be in their presence. And you can still see that in some US cities like Miami and Vegas. The caveat here, though, is if clubs go back to the widespread ladies free, that also means the widespread return of dress code and door people, for better or for worse. And I've got to be honest, for a generation of people who your quintessential going out outfit is a Shein top, mom jeans, and beater shoes, I don't think that would land very well with most of you. I think the idea of having to put on a very specific outfit just to enter the line and then have your entry be determined by someone at the door would make a lot of you spontaneously combust. And so yeah, clubs can go back to being ladies free, but you then have to be honest with yourself about what price it is that you're willing to pay. Because as quiet as it's kept, as problematic as modern day nightlife is, it is much more equitable and accessible to people than it was in the past.
Women getting into the club free is no longer a good business idea for clubs. Men don't approach women in clubs anymore, so women need to be charged for taking up space. You don't have money to buy drinks anyway.
I don't give grace to men. I don't double text. I don't go back and forth. I don't do all of that. How people treat you is how they feel about you. As grown adults, we all make decisions to do certain things, or we make decisions to not do certain things. And I am not too prideful, or I don't have such a big ego where I dismiss a person's actions for the basis of they wouldn't do that to me, or there must be a reason why they're doing or why they're not doing X, Y, and Z, because there's just no way, like I am Christian motherfucker. No. I understand that I am not an exception to someone possibly just not liking me enough. If someone viewed me as valuable or viewed me as someone that was so important they did not want to lose it, then they would not jeopardize losing access to me with their actions. So yeah, that's why I don't give grace, especially not in the beginning. Like that just...
And this is where accountability becomes a serious part of the conversation. Having standards and boundaries is completely reasonable, but if someone treats every mistake as an automatic reason to walk away, they may eventually create a dating environment where nobody gets the opportunity to build anything meaningful. Sometimes protecting your peace can also mean learning when to communicate instead of immediately cutting someone off.
Low level, are such a low class, classless, disgusting, embarrassing. You guys are disgusting. And then you get mad when people are not clapping for the ignorance. You guys are shameful. And because of your disgusting low-class behavior, black women are at the bottom.
Everything starts with accountability. Unfortunately, it is women's kryptonite. Women have become totally unmarriageable. We don't shame them enough.
On today's episode of Men Want to Be Princesses So Badly, this is the text I got from a guy who had been on 2 dates. And honestly, the second date barely counts because it was only like an hour long. And so really, like, I've been on 1.5 dates with him. But this is the text I got from him when I asked to reschedule our third date. He said, "Hey, this isn't going to work. Between me canceling plans to make something work, only for you to reschedule last minute." I wasn't. I was rescheduling more than 24 hours in advance. To extremely poor communication skills on your end, I was on a family trip. To you being constantly late. I was only late to the first date by like 10 to 15 minutes, and I got to the second date before him. I'm going to have to take a hard pass. Peace out. You want to be babied so badly.
Immediately, homophobic slander when you're being held accountable. Men want to be princesses, and it's just a basic boundary being set. Sex with them isn't even that good to put up with their BS.
I'm 36 years old and unmarried, and I've been reflecting on that a lot lately, just like as I get older, why that's the case. And there's a lot of reasons, I think, but I'm going to start sharing a couple of them with you. One of them being, I once went on a date with somebody to go kayaking, and I always wear sunscreen. Like, I'm very good about my sun protection. I grew up on the beach. I have to see my dermatologist once a year now to get stuff removed because I was very irresponsible when I was younger. Anyway, so I'm very good now about wearing sunscreen. But we went on this date, and before we got in the kayak, he looked at me and goes, "You should put on sunscreen." And I don't know if it was the delivery or the fact that I just really don't like being told what to do, ever. I refused. I was like, absolutely not. No. And I got sun poisoning because we were on kayaks for 4 hours.
I don't like being told what to do, but the makeup and cosmetics industries own you. I honestly thought she was going to expect him to pay for her dermatologist. What exactly is wrong with this generation of women?
You've never cheated on him?
I'm serious. I have never cheated on him.
Do you really doubt that the little girls are yours?
Yeah,
Why?
I do have my doubts. Yeah,
Why?
because she has this ex that she somehow goes back to texting and calling and
DNA concerning the 2-year-old, and the result for the DNA test, Sam, you are not the father of Priscilla's child. We gave you a DNA test about this 5-year-old girl. You are not the father.
Why do you have pride? It doesn't feel good, right? I'm not gonna lie. That's what you get.
Who's been supporting the girls? Who's paying everything? Who's taking them to school?
Okay.
Who's picking them up?
As you should.
What
you should?
After that, as you should, I'm definitely waking up in a prison. The female gender is just something else. At least the man gained clarity from this.
Ridiculous about this, and I've been nice. I've been trying to be like, okay, just give him some space, but okay, it's time to get real, and I don't understand why you're not accepting this, and why you're cutting an apple upside down.
This is a prime example of how unreasonable and out to lunch you are.
How am I out to lunch? You're my husband, so this is part your baby.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'm not raising another man's child.
Why? We're married. Yes, you don't have a choice. What do you mean? So you're saying you want a divorce?
Yeah.
No! Then
Okay.
you're gonna go to hell. No, that's not happening. You're Catholic. What do you mean?
Are you on drugs?
No, I mean hyped up on hormones, but what do you mean? This discussion just needs to be finalized today because it's making me sick, literally.
A product of modern feminism. I bet she wouldn't accept him getting another woman pregnant and asking her to raise it. I'm pretty sure he finalized it when he said yes, he wanted a divorce.
And when y'all get on my post and say, oh, you don't like men, just say you don't like men. I'm ding, 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 ding. I've been telling y'all that.
This section takes the conversation to another level, because criticizing certain behaviors is very different from condemning an entire gender. Men can absolutely be responsible for harmful behavior, just as women can. But turning individual experiences into universal conclusions usually creates more resentment than understanding. If the goal is better relationships, both men and women have to be willing to examine their own behavior instead of making the opposite gender the permanent enemy.
Majority of mass murders, men. Who is responsible for rape? Men. 9 times out of 10, most of the bad things that we encounter are at the hands of men. They start wars. We can't go outside at night because of who? Men. We got to look over our shoulders because of who? Men. Now, y'all remind me again why we should be liking men.
Respectfully, go date a woman and leave men's business out of your mouth. They claim they're decentering men, but they are always crying about men not being shit to them.
In my next life, please, I beg, make me the biggest lesbian. Please, make me gay as fuck. Because I can't stand you, man. I cannot stand y'all. Oh my gosh. It's not even 10 o'clock. And someone's dusty ass already pissed me off. Pissed me the fuck off. Right? This dude texted me. I was like, send me pictures of you. No. Hell no. Like, first of all, I have a public Facebook. Pictures of me are everywhere. What do you mean? Send you pictures of me? I was like, no. Like, and he was like, I just wanted to see what you look like. Okay. You know what I look like? No. And then I was like, you know what? I'm done with this conversation. So have a good day. And then he goes, for someone your age, you would think you would be more secure. You think you would, be more understanding. He's like, I get why you're single. I was like, oh yeah? Listen, I'm single by choice. I'm single because I don't put up with fucking dusty ass men. That's why I'm single. This is why I'm single. Because I can't stand y'all. Okay. Yeah. I know sexuality is a choice because there's no fucking way. There's no way.
Lesbians have the highest divorce rate among gays, straights, and lesbians. No one is holding you back anyway. You can do that right now without reincarnation.
Body count. What's your body count? 1?
12.
Okay.
3. 9.
9 from when I was a degenerate teenager.
Okay.
I'm engaged, just him.
I can't disclose.
Oh, well, okay, hold on. Well, don't lie.
I can't.
Out of respect for him, I don't want to say.
It's more than one then. Okay, what about you?
3.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to give my body count. No, I'm not doing body count.
More than 10 or less than 10?
No, I'm not doing body count, period.
7.
I'm going to go with Hannah. I'm not going to disclose.
6.
3. I'm a virgin.
The first one lied, and they all jumped on it. The rule of thumb is to double it and add 30. Anyway, that's all for today. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Also, click on the notification bell to know when I drop a new video. Bye.